Hello, welcome back to another video. In this video, we will discuss about the supply chain flow in Dynamics 365 step by step with terminology. In today's fast-paced business environment, managing the supply chain efficiently is essential for keeping operations lean, customer satisfied, and cost under control. Microsoft Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management provides an integrated solution that connects the procurement, inventory, production, warehousing, sales, finance, and delivery process into a seamless flow. Let's break down the supply chain process step by step using the diagram that you can see in the screen. And let me explain the key term involved so anyone from beginner to a functional consultant can understand it with ease. So let me explain the purchase order to vendor process first, and within that as well, whatever the terminology I'll be using, I'll explain that as well. As you can see in the screen, there is a seller, and in the top seller, and in the left side you can see the vendor, and there is a arrow line purchase order, right? So this is nothing but the purchase order sent to vendor. So this is the journey begins when the purchaser creates and sends a purchase order, that means PO, to the vendor. So here I have used the term purchase order PO. PO is nothing but or purchase order is nothing but is a formal request from the buyer to the supplier to deliver specific goods or services at an agreed price and time. So why it is matter? Because it sets the foundation for the procurement tracking, for the pricing and the delivery. And for this process, purchase order sent to vendor, there is a module involved procurement and sourcing in Dynamics 365 finance and operation. Now there is a arrow line also, you can see that vendor processing, right? So in this process, what happens? As the good received, the vendor sends an invoice which is handled by the finance department. So here vendor invoice means a bill from the vendor requesting payments for the supplied good. And finance, this is nothing but a one module in the Dynamics 365, the module and the department responsible for handling the transaction, budgeting, accounting. There is also involved general ledger, that is the central record for financial transaction. Chart of account is also involved. Chart of account is nothing but the financial structure used to categorize the transaction, and module involved here the finance module. Okay, so there is a relationship between the supply chain management modules and the finance module as well. Now after that, what happens? After this process, vendor shipment happens. In the left side, as you can see, from vendor to track, there is a arrow sign vendor shipment. So in this process, what happens? After receiving the purchase order, the vendor prepares and dispatches the products. So vendor means the supplier who provides a goods or services. Vendor shipments means the act of shipping goods from vendor's warehouse to buyer warehouse. So here the module involved is inventory management and procurement is involved. Now it comes the item arrival and the registration. Item arrival and the registration process happens. So in this process, once the shipment arrives, it undergoes the item arrival and registration process at the receiving dock. So item arrival registration means logging and the scanning item into the system to acknowledge the arrival. Product received, here one process is there for the product receipt. So a confirmation that ordered goods were received in expected quality and the quantity. So for the registration and the arrival process, there is a module called warehouse management and inventory management. So these modules are involved with this process. Now after this, as you can see, there is a production section is there, right? So if the material, in this step what happened, if the production is required, if the item received are the raw materials, so on that case they may be sent to the production to be converted into final finished goods. So production means the manufacturing process where the raw materials are transformed into the finished goods. Here involved master planning, a forecasting and planning tool that determines what need to be produced and when need to be produced. Here one more step is involved within the system, that is the transfer. This is nothing but the internal movement of the materials between one location to one location. For example, from one warehouse to the production floor, the raw material need to be transferred through via the various transportation system. It can be a small bike or car. So based on the size of the product, that transfer happens or the material movement happens. So in this particular production, there is a production control module is involved, master planning module is involved, right? So now after this process, what happens, inventory and warehouse management process also happens. For example, after the production or the direct receipt, goods enter into the inventory or the warehouse management cycle. After the production or the direct receipt, production finished good is ready. Now goods enter into the inventory and warehouse management cycle. So here there is a process called license plate management or LPM. This is nothing but it assigns a unique code or barcode or RFID code to each pallet or the package or in item to track its particular locations for the finished good. Now in this process, pick and pack also happens. It means picking means selecting products from a storage and packing means boxing them up for the shipment. So pick and pack also happens in the warehouse and in management. Now there is a transfer also happens, moving inventory within or between the warehouses. So for the business there can be a multiple location. So that is why it is required to transfer or moving inventory within or between the warehouses. So in this particular case, there is a warehouse management and inventory management modules involved. Okay. Now I already discussed, after all this process happens, vendor invoice also completed. Vendor invoice is nothing but a bill from vendor requesting payment for the supplied goods, right? Then after that process, there is a other process starts, that is the customer sales order. So customer sales order, I mean, in the right side you can see there is a customer. So this process happens. So in this process, a customer places a sales order, initiating the outbound sales process. Outbound means from your warehouse the material will be delivered to the customer. So that is why it is outbound. So this customer sales order is nothing but a process where the customer places sales order, initiating the outbound sales process. So sales order means a formal order from a customer to buy goods. Now in this process there is a packing slip involved. It means a document included with the shipment that lists the item inside. Now again it's required of invoice customer, that means a bill sent to the customer showing the amount due to the ordered goods. So here there is a module involved, sales and marketing, right? So now once the order placed, there will be a shipment and delivery to the customer. This phase will happen. shipment and delivery to the customer. It is a process, or finally the goods are picked from the warehouse and then packed and shipped to the customer using logistic tools. So here the shipments means the physical delivery of goods from the seller to the customer, and transportation management happens requires, this is nothing but a system used to plan which routes I need to select, uh, which schedule that I follow for deliveries, and reducing the shipping cost as well. So I have to select the best route or best scheduling time and delivery date. So that is why transportation management involve for the shipment and delivery to the customer. Right, so here I have discussed many things like a purchase order, vendor shipment, item registration, product receipt, production, master planning, license plate management, pick and pack, vendor invoice, general ledger, sales order, packing slip, customer invoice, shipment, transportation management for the route planning and cost control. So I hope now it's clear how the process happens. So this particular diagram that I have shown perfectly represent how the Microsoft Dynamics 365 supply chain management connects every parts of the supply chain into a unified flow, from procurement to payment and manufacturing to delivery and everything in between. Understanding both the process flow and the terminology is essential for mastering the Dynamics 365 SCM, whether you are a student, consultant, or part of an implementation teams. So if you have any question regarding this particular supply chain management diagram, you can comment it in the, you can write a comment in the below. Okay, so in the real world there will be a customized things, small things involved in this process as well. So if you want to add something that you have learned in your real world project, you can also write a comment on the below the video, so that other person also read that and get the knowledge from it. So thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye bye.